My name is Andy Hornby, photographer and vlogger. 17 years ago I started teaching myself photography. Today I travel the UK as a professional wedding photographer, landscape photographer and filmmaker. Learn from my experiences, my mistakes and my tips and advice.
We're moving through the night like we're from a different star, flying over streets and our broken hearts.
Hi, and welcome to what I'm sure you've been eagerly awaiting, my next landscape photography vlog, which I haven't done in a long time because I've been doing a lot of weddings. First of all, before I get into this, I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. I'm now over 2,000 subscribers, which is really awesome. My next kind of milestone is 2,500, so I want to try and get to that as soon as possible, and if you can help out, that'd be awesome. If you can share my channel, that'd be fantastic. Today I'm in Henley on Thames, which is quite a distance from Portsmouth and Southsea, but I'm actually meeting a wedding couple there. Well, actually it's a really good friend of mine I've known for about 23 years, since I was a lad when we worked together in London, and they live up this way and I'm shooting their wedding in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be awesome. I'll meet them a bit later, but I thought I'd do a quick talk to you boys and girls, let you know that I'm back in the landscape photography action, and today I'm going to do a quick back to basics little ditty for you, and hopefully I don't get bombarded with seagulls that are starting to annoy me. So sit back, relax. I'm going to take this camera into handheld, so it's going to be a bit jumpy, so please don't have a go at me. I know I get a lot of comments about my footage being a bit jumpy when I'm shooting handheld with that thing. It is what it is. What do you want? I'm vlogging. I'm taking it around in my hand. I don't have time to carry a massive, great big, expensive stabilizer, so bear with me. I'm going to set my tripod up down here. We're going to get back to basics with photography, and I'm going to show you how to set up for a landscape shot very simply, very quickly, and then maybe go into a few kind of more advanced stuff you can do. So taking a landscape shot is one thing, but making a piece of art out of a landscape might be something completely different. And I'm going to show you a final image which will potentially be edited to my degree, and show you that, you know, taking a shot sometimes, you know, the shots you see in magazines and stuff isn't always straight from camera. So show you before and after edit of one of my pictures that I'm going to take in about 10 minutes hopefully. So let me get set up. I'm going to use this tripod that you're currently sat on for my shots. I'm going to set up just down here. I'm going to get some nice shots of the Thames at Henley, and then we're going to do some other bits and pieces. So we're going handheld, so let's do that. See you in a bit, bye. Handheld, there we go, look. So, sorry about the noise in the background. There's a pub with some kind of thing going on in the background there. I'm currently set up with a 35mm lens on there, and I figure why not use it. I've got my wide angle on, which you're on here. I'm going to leave that on to vlog this. Someone's in trouble somewhere. Very simple exposure. Let's get a bit closer to the water without dropping the camera in the water, obviously. I've had a few problems recently with dropping my camera and stuff. I was on a shoot the other day, video shoot, and my really expensive camera with a really expensive lens on went. So we'll try not to do that today. So yeah, so 35, the only problem doing landscape photography with a 35mm lens is that you don't get a lot in the composition. So these first couple of shots are going to be me just showing you how to get your exposure correctly. Now, whenever I do any kind of photography, the first thing I always consider is my ISO, and if I'm outside, generally it's going to be ISO 100, unless it's really, really dark or you start getting into sort of the beginning of night time, that kind of stuff, I'll bump the ISO. But for the most part, and for another reason, it's always at ISO 100. I want a really crisp, sharp image with no noise. And with landscape photography, I'm always going to shoot around f10. All you need to do then is look at your meter. I don't know if you can see my meters on there. You won't be able to see it like that. All I've got to do is then use my shutter speed to get my meter back to 0. So my camera's telling me that it's the correct exposure. Sometimes it won't always be right, but it's digital photography, so you can mess around with it afterwards. But that's the essence of getting a landscape exposure. Really simple, really quickly. I'm at 1/80th of a second. I'm going to take a picture. Boom, done. What I'll sometimes do with my landscape photography is actually put a 2-second timer on, so that when I do press the button, my finger's nowhere near the camera. Boom. Two-second timer, so there's no shake in the camera. Another thing you might want to consider is going for a manual focus. I'm currently auto-focusing at the moment. I'm auto-focusing directly in front of me, which is to a couple of boats just over the back there, but that's fine for this type of shot. I'm not only happy with the composition, what I actually want is everything from what you see behind me there, which is a bridge. I want to see everything right the way round to somewhere down the river down there, and the only way to really do that is either put a really wide angle lens on, which you're on just there and I'm not using at the moment, or I could do a panorama or panoramic shot from there right the way through to there, and the way to do that is on camera. So let's have a try at that. Now I don't have a level on my tripod itself. I've got one on the shoe on top, but that doesn't help, because if that's not right on the thing, it won't make any difference anyway. So let's have a look. Much better. So I'll get a better shot there. So what I'm going to do is actually take a few images all the way around. Make sure I overlap, because if you don't overlap later on in Lightroom when you process them and you put them together, it's not going to make much difference. It won't be able to find enough information from the image before to marry up and process together to the image afterwards. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So I'm going to take a few images on the 2-second timer. What I'll always say as well, if you're doing a panorama, shoot a little bit further past where you need to, so you can crop it down later, because those corners potentially are going to be a little bit distorted, and you can crop them off a little bit later. So if you don't crop far, if you don't go far enough and you have to crop, you're going to crop into your desired image. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to process them. Hopefully that's just popped up on your screen now. And it looks okay. It'll be unprocessed first. What I'm going to do, I'm going to process the image and overlay that a bit later on in this video, so don't go anywhere. A bit less noisy around here, so I've come for a little walk. Saying that. Anyway, I wanted to just interrupt this video just there, because I'm going to be talking about doing a giveaway. So if anyone's interested in a new tripod that I've had for a long time, which you might have seen me do a review on last year, I've never used it, it's still in the box. I'm probably going to give that away. And if other bits and pieces, if you're interested in a giveaway, please drop me a comment down below, let me know if you're happy, and I'll figure out a way of doing it. I'm not so sure if I can do that on the YouTube, because there's all kinds of rules and stuff about doing giveaways and stuff on YouTube, but I'll try and find a way anyway. So yeah, drop me a comment down below and see if you're happy for me to do a giveaway and if you're interested at all. I've come around the other side of the bridge. There's a bridge there. I was just over the other side there, because I was shooting off into the sun. I know it's cloudy, but the sun was popping through. I want to get an image from this side as well of the bridge. I'm going to do a little bit of a long exposure if I can. I don't know if I've got a filter that'll fit my 35mm, but I'll see if I have, and try and get a long exposure. From this side, we're going to try and still the water, so we're taking our landscape photography basics and going a few steps forward. Trying to get a bit more advanced is another way of taking your photography another step above what everyone else is doing or what other people can do, because you don't see long exposure enough, in my own opinion. I love long exposure photography. I think it really adds a different dimension to an image that potentially 5,000 other photographers have got before, and you're making it your own. That's what my photography is about. It's just about taking it one step further, making photography my own, and having a bit of fun. So I'm going to set up down here again, a little bit further away from the water than you might want to expect, but that's only because I'm being really clumsy recently, and I drop stuff, whatever. Anyway, yes, this footage is bumpy. I'm handheld. We're going to put you down now. You'll be on the floor. Look, you'll be down there, and I'm going to set up my shot, and I'll pick you up again. Maybe put you on my backpack again. So don't worry. No need to complain that the shot's a bit bumpy. It just is what it is. All right. Rant over. I'll see you in a bit. Let's do this. Okay, so I've come a little bit further away from the dock down now, only because there's a guy getting some boats out, and that little jetty's in my way, so I'm going to actually set up just down here. Even on 35mm, I've got enough information to get most of the bridge in, and my task, if you like, is to level out the water and maybe get a bit of movement in the sky, because when you've got clouds like this, it makes some really, really good long exposure photography. The thing you need to remember when you're doing long exposure photography is that you need to calculate how long your exposure needs to be before you put this on, because once you put this on, you're never going to get it. You can't just come down here and put one of these on. This is the biggest mistake I see photographers make when they do long exposure photography. If you want to take your camera past 30 seconds, you potentially might need a shutter release, which I might have to get out my bag if I need it. If I think that the picture's not going to be the water's not going to be flat enough, or I'm not going to get enough movement out of the sky, I'll go longer. I've got a 10 stop filter on this. During the day, a 10 stop will get you, somewhere above 30 seconds, maybe potentially. But the first thing you need to do is make sure you are in manual focus as well. So get your focus and then switch to manual, because if you put this on and you try and take a picture, your camera's going to try and focus. It's not going to happen when this is on, because it uses the information that goes in the lens. If you can't see anything, it's going to have to focus on. So bear that in mind. Yeah, I'm going to get a bit closer to the water, obviously, but I'm going to calculate what my exposure is going to be on an app. So I've got an app called Exposure Calculator, funnily enough, on my phone. Let's have a look. If you haven't seen my video on my apps, I've got a lot of apps that I use. Have a look up in the corner there, I'll put up there. So what you do is calculate F10, I'm getting 1/80th of a second, F10, 100, 30 stop. I can get 1 minute 42 out of this, so I'm actually going to get my shutter release out my bag and set that up. I need to move you because you're on my bag. You need to put your camera into bulb mode, obviously, and use the bulb function on this. I'm going to go for 1 minute 20-second exposure. Putting this on. Hopefully it fits. And I'm going to go and move over, take the picture and then come back. I'll speed this bit up and you'll see the image afterwards. Okay, that's now shooting. 1 minute 20 seconds. We'll see what we get. I've got a fairly good composition and I'm happy. The 1 minute 20 seconds is going to be good enough, hopefully, to get some movement in the clouds. It is a bit windy, you can see it's a bit windy, you probably hear it. So the clouds are going to be moving towards the camera. It's going to be quite good because you're going to get that kind of parallax effect in the clouds, and also the water has got quite a bit of movement in it, so that's going to be sort of negated and leveled out in a long exposure. So 35 seconds, we'll have a look. Just while I think about it, another couple of things to remember is that you probably see that I'm really low to the ground on my tripod. It's the travel tripod. If it's windy, that tripod's going to have a little bit of movement. If you're doing long exposure photography, you can't have any movement whatsoever. It just isn't going to work, so you have to make sure it's very steady, which is why I'm really low to the ground. The legs are wide out, not up, if you like, and it's going to make for a much steadier shot. So let's see how we go. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Really happy. I'll see if I can show you on the back of the camera. I wonder if that's going to work. Let's have a look. Can you see that? You can't see that. You might be able to see that. Let's see if I can lighten this up a little bit. You might be able to see a little bit better. Can you see that? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to overlay that on now. So there you go, there's your basic long exposure stuff, really quickly, doesn't take a lot to set up. If you are interested in doing a long exposure workshop, get into the really nitty gritty stuff, have a look at my workshop website. I've always done long exposure stuff, it's one of the things I love to do. So yeah, so we're going to move on. I've got to go and meet this wedding couple, and I'll do a quick outro in a second. Let me just get packed up and then I'll say goodbye. Do that. Windy. I'm all packed up, ready to go. I've got to go and meet a wedding couple, so I'm in a bit of a rush. But I've taken you through the very basics of setting up for a landscape shot and a few more advanced techniques, panorama. I'm going to overlay them now, the before and after, so you see the fully unedited and then the fully edited versions.
Talk to you for hours.
And hopefully you realise that landscape photography is mostly about composition. You know, taking the picture, you could potentially take a picture in automatic modes and you get a similar kind of effect as you would if you're in manual mode, but you know, you've got more control over your camera, what your camera can do. You can be more artistic, and then you can take your photography to another level, do some panorama stuff, and even if you haven't got a wide angle lens with a panorama, you're going to get a good shot. And if you're able to use something like Lightroom, you're going to be able to stitch them together really simply later, and then take it one step further, start getting into long exposure stuff. And long exposure photography is where I consider that there's not enough of it going on, and I don't know why, because it's so easy to do, so easy to get involved in, and with a little bit of an investment, it's about to get dark, excuse me, a little bit of investment in an ND filter, which nowadays aren't really that expensive, you can start getting some absolutely fantastic shots. So I'm going to say goodbye. Remember, if you want to be involved in the giveaway, please comment down below, just say yeah, you're interested in. I've got a few bits and pieces of it, but it's going to be the tripod that I've got, which is a fairly decent tripod to be fair. I actually really like it, but I don't use it. It's in a box, brand new. I got it out once to do a review on it, and that's that. So let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you've got any questions, please don't tell me that this video was shaky, because it's shaky. I'm handheld. I don't have time to bring my big stabilizer with me. It's just handheld. I don't need to know that it's shaky. I know that. And but if you've got anything out of this video, please whack a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get updates every time I upload a new video. And from Henley-on-Thames, back to basics, landscape photography. I'll see you on another one soon. Take it easy. Bye.
Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we go and we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game and we run on the flames till the morning light, baby, 'cause
You're still here. Nice. It's good that you're still here, because I want to tell you a little something. Those people who are avid followers of me, I want to give a little something back. And to do that, it means working alongside you online, because a lot of you can't make it to my workshop. So I've just set up a Patreon account. It is patreon.com/Andy Hornby Photos. So Patreon is a platform where we can create stuff together, even if you're halfway across the globe, and I can learn and teach alongside you, literally alongside you. There's so many things I can do to help you get your photography just to that next level. It is awesome. If you can make it to one of my workshops, I've got a website. Go to ahphotographyworkshops.uk and have a look, see what I've got going on. But if you can't make it to one of my workshops, Patreon is a really good platform where we can create stuff together and we can take your photography to another level. So if you like what I'm doing and you want me to learn alongside yourself, see you there. Take it easy, have a good day. Bye.